Hello everyone, I hope you are doing great. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through SPSS version 28, and this new version contains more or less advanced settings and advanced options, and we are going to see the main menus and the buttons that are integrated therein. So let's start with the file menu or icon. You can here see if you want to add or open new data or syntax or output or even script. And what is new here is there is this Python 3 integrated within SPSS version 28. Open here, we can open data, internet data, syntax, output, and script again. And import data, we can import database here, new query or edit query or run query. And here we have Excel, we have CSV data, we have text data, we have SAS, Stata data or Stata DBase, Lotus, CYL, Q or key, and there are different types of data. Okay, Cognos Business Intelligence. Then we have general open, and we have seed data export once we finish, and we have collect variables or information, and also we have the last thing that is integrated here is rename dataset and display data file information like working external cache or cache data, switch server repository. We have connect, add file, retrieve to species statistics, and download file. We have welcome dialog. We have recently used data, recently used files, manage license, and more. Exit. So this is what the file button contains. And let's move to edit. So here there are some buttons, as you can see, that are unclickable because I'm not using anything. Revert to save file enabled, stop processor. So when I start typing, I can have let's say I can just add random numbers. Okay, so let's say for here we have the variable view and data view. So the variable view has the questions like Q1, Q2, Q3, etc. Let's move to the second icon, which is about edit. Here we can do redo and undo some actions. We have cut, we have copy, with variable names, we have copy with variable labels. We're going to see the difference between the two. We have paste variables, paste with variable names, clear, insert variable, insert cases. So here variables are the questions that are included in the questionnaire, and in cases are the responses of the respondents. We have search data files, we have search control shift plus S, and we have control F or find in case we have big data or at least some large data sets. We have go to variable, go to case, go to imputation, and we have options. If we click options, we can come up with this new let's say interface. We have pivot tables. We have here we can set EPA time and set table look directly the directory, include command with all tables. We can include a command, and we can, okay, I'm just going to enlarge this. Okay, so here we can put comment text. We have procedure, current procedure, and do not adjust width. We can shrink width to fit, or do not adjust display 0, 1 when significance value is less than 0. The observed value is preserved. Show footnotes and captions and tables. Click apply. Okay, and then file locations. We can choose the file from here. We can browse, record syntax. So we have startup folders for open and save dialogues. We have specified folders. We have last folder used. We have temporary folder. We have number of recently used files to list. We have Python 3 location installed with IBM or IBM SPSS statistics. Other installation of Python. We can here include the program and browse it from here. We have R also location installed and other installation of R. We have scripts. Okay, so these are the types of scripts that we have. Scripts applied. So we have weighted kappa, weighted least square, ACFM, ANOVA, ANCORE, ARIMA, automated data, Bayesian or Bayesian, ANOVA, correlation, log linear, ONSA, samples, t-test, one way, etc. regression. So we have different types of scripts. So scripts apply. To apply an auto script to an object, first select a command in the command identifiers list, then enter or select a script in the objects and script grid. Then we have multiple imputations. We have cell background color. We can choose different colors. We have here the font. We can choose this color or different fonts or fonts analysis output. We have results for both observed and imputed data, results for observed data only, results for imputed data only, full result, etc. Then we have syntax editor. We have commands, subcommands, keywords, values, commands, quotes, and their color coding. We have autocomplete settings, automatically display the autocomplete control, indent size, spaces, glitter display, line numbering, display command spans, and panes we have or glitter. These are glitter rather than glitter. Display the navigation pane, automatically open error tracking pane when errors are found, optimize for right or left languages. So after add cursor or selection. Then we have privacy, allow species statistics to share information with IBM. Welcome dialog content, disable species statistics from getting welcome dialog content updates, and disable species statistics from sending error reports to IBM. So this doesn't concern us here, so let's move just to general. We have application mode, output. So application mode, we have either classic syntax and output or just workbook like Excel. We have variable list. We can display labels instead of display names, and we can keep them either file or alphabetical or measurement level depending on what we want. We have rules to save time. Some dialogs allow the use of predefined field. Okay, use predefined rules, use custom assignments, maximum number of threads. We have automatic or number of threads, auto recovery, enable interval in minutes between saving files. So this is something new here, which is great. Number of restore points to save, and here we can find auto recovery file location. Okay, so these are some of the. We have also language. We can set display language into other languages, and you have Chinese, French, Dutch, Italian, Japanese, Korean. Fortunately, Arabic is still not available. We hope they will integrate it later in future versions. So we have, these are the types of, or the number of languages that we have. Character encoding. We have character encoding that cannot be changed when any non-empty datasets are open. We have bidirectional tests. If you use combination of right or left, such as Arabic or Hebrew languages, and left to right languages, such as English, select which direction text should follow. Individual words will still follow in the correct direction depending on their language. Only overall text strands are affected by this choice. This setting will take effect the next time statistics is started. If you work with right to left text in syntax editor with base text direction set to automatic, also select optimize for left languages on the syntax editor tab. This does not require or restart. So base text direction, we can have right to left or left to right depending on the language, so I keep it automatic. For the language, we don't have Arabic, as I said. You can see there is no Arabic, so maybe we have Hebrew. Also, Hebrew is not available. We have just Chinese. Anyway, so let's move to viewer. So we want the title to be, let's say, Times New Roman. I'm setting this according to Times New Roman for the titles. RRST, traditional Arabic Times New Roman size. I can keep it at 12. We have page title, text output. Again, for text type input, we can keep it Times New Roman. I can keep it at 12. Monospaced, monotype, cursiva, Montserrat Black, Montserrat Extra Bold. So these are different types of font. Text output. So we have, this is the page title, and this is the title. Okay, so we don't, and even the colors. Then we have monospace, so I can just keep this at 9. Okay, that's it. Contents are initially shown or hidden. Justification, we have justification, we can keep it at center. Warning, notes, title, pivot table, chart, text output, notes, title, page, model viewer, and our object type, tree model, text output, chart, pivot table, page, title, notes, and warnings, log, etc. Then default page setup, portrait, and so this is like the landscape. Display commands in the log. Then we have data, transformation and merge options, calculate values immediately, calculate values before use, random number generator compatible with SPSS 12 and earlier, long period Mersenne twister, set century range for 2 digits, automatic begin year and end year, or a custom begin year and end year. Assignment measurement level cutoff number for unique values used to determine measurement level for numeric fields. The cutoff value affects the measurement level assignment for both new variables created in the session and data read from external sources. If higher priority rule condition do not apply, variables that meet or exceed the cutoff number or for unique values will be assigned the scale continuous measurement level. Variables that do not will be assigned in the nominal measurement level. See help for more information. Rounding and truncation of numeric values. Number of fuzz bits used in rounding and truncation. So we have 6. We can either increase or decrease. Compatible with SPSS. So for currency, we have CCA, CCB, CCC, and CCD and CCA. We have prefix, suffix, period, and comma. Negative for all values, for negative values. So we have positive value and negative values here. Examples. And we can choose whether we want the decimal separator to be period or comma. And custom output formats. And then we have output. We have all outline labeling variables in item labels shown. So you can keep names and labels or labels. Variables in item labels shown. So outline labeling and variable values in item labels. Pivot table labeling, variables in the labels shown as labels, variable values in labels shown as labels. So labels are better. Suppress tables with many categories, maximum number of categories. One-click descriptive, including charts in the outputs. Display method, pivot tables and charts. Model viewer output display method applies to generalized linear mixed models, and screen reader accessibility read fully row and column labels for each cell in the pivot tables or pivot tables. Read only row or column labels that change when needed. So these are for labels. Now for charts, I think this is very, so for charts I can choose APA again. This is great. And bar charts, scatter plots. Okay, so these are great. Apply. And then we have pivot tables. We can choose Times New Roman, see table look directory, or do not adjust with copying with tables to the clipboard, etc. So we saw this. We have file locations. We saw that. Script, multiple imputations, syntax editor, privacy, charts, currency, scripts, viewer, language, etc. So this is, these are the options available in the view menu and edit menu. The last one is option. Let's apply this. We can put question 1 and set some numbers. So this is how we can enter data. Okay, so we have 1, we have 22, we have 20, 33. Okay, so let's just enter some random. Okay, and let's try to analyze descriptive stats, frequencies, or rather not frequencies, we can use descriptives. for options, we can put standard variable list, etc. Okay, and click OK. And let's wait for the output. You see the output, here it is. We can copy and go to Word, Microsoft Word, the tables into Microsoft Office 365. I have this new many things, and copy and paste. So this is how the table looks like. So we have times New Roman 12, so times New Roman 8. So I can just go back and alter a little bit the in the edit, and we go to options, and for data, where is it, for the output, not the output, pivot tables, not adjust width, copy. So shrink width to fit, I can keep this option, and include comments with all tables. Data set. Then we have I want just to go back to the okay, so the font of table page title. So here we have font size as 8, so let's just go and fix it from here. So 8, where is 8? Can keep it as 12. Okay, never mind. Okay, so I just can ignore this for the time being. Go back to the output and click edit. So I have format, we have APA times New Roman 12 points, edit looks, and have cell format times New Roman 12, which is great. Borders, we have printing. Okay, so I can just keep it as it is. Procedure descriptive, so this is the procedure adapted here. Okay, so next tutorial we are going to see therein how the other menus and submenus in the view menu, and see you then. So the third menu is view, and view does not contain many options. We have just some bars to be either added or removed, like status bar below. We can just remove it, hide it, or include it. We have toolbars, we have some data, etc. We have menu editor, we have fonts, we have grid lines. In case you don't have grid lines, you can just check this. We have value, labels, and we have variables. So here we have the data view, where we put the case or the number or the answers of the respondents. So these are the respondents. Okay, like this is an Excel workbook. And the variable view, where we put variables like Q1, we have its type as numeric. We have different types depending on the type of data, like date, dollar, custom currency, etc. And then we have width, we have decimals, and we have label, like this one, question one is about gender or age. Then we have values, and we enter, if we have age categories, especially for nominal data, we can just put 1, 20 to 23, 2 from 23 or 24 to 26, etc. So this is like the values, missing value cases defined columns, we have alignment with the right or center, we have measure, we have three measures, or we have scale in case the data is continuous, we have ordinal like the ranked data like high, mid, and low, and we have nominal like demographic data of gender, age, categories in case there are categories, and we have background, location, etc. And there, this is the root. So this is the different views in this menu, and see you soon. Bye for now. All right, so good. Hello again. I hope you are doing great. So we are going to see the fourth icon, which is labeled data, and we need to see some of the submenus included herein. And you can see that there are many menus, so this is like the most complex tab besides this analyze tab. So let's go to data. We have define variable properties. Here we have variables to scan, etc. We can move variables therein, and we have set measurement levels for unknown. So we have three measurement levels, like nominal used for unranked categories like region or postal code. They can be either numeric or string. Ordinal used for ranked categories like ratings, like 1 low, 2 medium, 3 high. They should be numeric. And continuous used when distance comparisons between values are appropriate, like age in years or income in dollars. They are always numeric. So these are the types of measurements. Copy data properties. We can copy from an external SPSS statistics data file by browsing and looking for that file, or the active data set that is here. And we click, there are 5 steps to be carried out, like next, move the variables, next, etc., etc. So I'm not going to dwell into this because it's not that important, and let's go to other submenus like new custom attribute, like define date and time format in case we have cases in time, and we have defined multiple response sets when we have multiple choice questions. We need to recode them into one choice by putting dichotomous variables like yes or no, chosen, not chosen. We have validation, we have different types of validation. We have identify duplicate cases and unusual cases, and when it comes to data cleaning and compare data sets, we have sort cases ascendingly or descendingly. This is like Excel. We have sort variables again when it comes to the actual questions in the research instrument, and we have transpose variables. We can do this like Excel, and we have adjust string width across files. We have merge files, restructure, rake, weights, and we have propensity score matching, case control matching, aggregate, split into files, orthogonal design or orthogonal design, compare data sets, copy data sets, split file like Excel again, and select cases and weight cases. So these are, I mean, all the submenus. We don't need to go deeper into them. I mean, we won't need them, in fact. So this is just an overview of the major submenus included within data. And see you in another tutorial. Bye for now. Hello again. I hope you're doing great. So as you can see from data view, we can go to this icon, value labels. Click on it, and we are going to see the codes will change to the actual labels, in fact, like this. You notice this, these are the codes, yes, no, type coded as 0 and 1, etc. So this is what I want to show you at the beginning. Now we go to transform menu. Here we have the first option, which is compute variable. So we use this when we compute the mean score. We go to statistical mean score, especially for Likert scales or semantic differential scales, if any, and we keep adding them, and we put here target variable, a name and type and label, etc. So these are the main uses of this option. We can see programmability transformation. Again, here we enter the syntax formula and get the programmed function. Here we have count values within cases, and we can include this define values, etc. And we have system missing, system or user missing, and range values to counts. And we don't need this much. We have shift values, variable new name and method, get value from earlier case lag, get value from later case led, and number of cases to shift for each let's say variable. Okay, so move to the other options. We have recode into same variables. We have like one variable and want to recode it, especially when we miscode the Likert scale items from one strongly agree to five strongly disagree. We can reverse code this by moving the items and all defining all the new values, and we keep pushing them here. So these are old values in case of categorical or ranked data, and this is like through range. We can set from the minimum to the maximum, or here range lowest through value, range through highest, all other values. So these are the things, and we put the old value here and new value here, and we click add so that they will be added. The same process can be applied to recode into different variables. Again, we have input output variables, etc. And then we have automatic recode. Then use the same recoding scheme for all variables, treat blank string values as user missing, apply template from, save template as, etc. Then we have visual or create dummy variables. We have visual binding, optimal binding, prepare data for modeling, either interactive, automatic, or back transform scores. And we have here rank cases, date and time wizard, create time series, in case we have time series. And then we have replace missing values, random number generators, in case we have some let's say random sampling procedures. So these are, I mean, these are the main options available in transform. The most common or method to be used is compute variable within transform, and recode into same and different variables are also two common needed options. All right, so this is all concerning transform, and see you in another tutorial. Bye for now. Hello again, dear researchers. I hope you are doing great. In this tutorial, we are going to look at the menu of Analyze in SPSS version 28. I think this is the most frequently used menu, and I'm going to go over it. So we have here, let's say, power analysis. This is very new to SPSS, and we have means. We have one sample t-test, paired sample t-test, independent sample t-test, and one-way analysis of variance. This is like for power analysis before running the parametric tests. We have one sample binomial test. We have related samples binomial test and independent samples binomial tests. For proportions and correlation, we have, or correlations, we have percent product moments correlation, and we have Spearman rank order correlation, and finally we have partial correlation for categorical variables. And then for regression, we have univariate linear. For meta-analysis, we have continuous outcomes and binary or dichotomous outcomes, and then we have meta-regression. For reports, we have codebook, OLAPs, cubes, case summaries, report summaries in rows, report summaries in columns, and descriptive statistics is going to be the most frequently used one. For frequencies, we can just go frequencies, and we analyze categorical variable, let's say level of education. And for charts, I'm going to choose bar charts, and I'm going to include frequencies instead of percentage, display frequency tables, and create EPA style tables, and click OK, and let's wait for the output. Okay, so as you can see, here is the output. We have the level of education, and we have the chart. I can double click the chart and add elements. Okay, so here we have close this submenu and see here edit. We can first select chart like this and add elements. So we have I think that element options add data label mode like this, and this. So these are the frequencies, and this is okay. So these are the frequencies of each column, and you can see the frequency level of education. We have the not complete high school degree, etc. So then I'm just going to close this window. Okay, I can just run other types of analysis upon this let's say charts. You can see them from here, from file, edit. You can see again we have view, edited toolbar, element toolbar, format, large buttons, options, annotation, title, textbook, footnotes, hide guidelines. Okay, so we can just hide guidelines. As you can see, show derived axis, transpose chart. Okay, so we can transpose. Okay, so there are many options that we can do from this submenu, and at the end we can copy and paste the chart, or copy it as image, Microsoft Office, graphics, or EMF, create, edit, auto script, style, output, export, etc. So these are the main things that we can use here. So for analyze, we can descriptive statistics. Descriptives for continuous variables. We want to see the mean, like this one, age. We can go to options. We check the mean, the sum, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, range. We can just check minimum and check range. Variable list, if we want to display this in variable list. Alphabetic order, ascending means, their descending means, and click continue and click OK, and it will give you the range, the sum. The mean age is 35 years old. And this is for descriptive statistics. Also, we can choose population descriptives. We can choose explore to check the normality from plots here, and we can choose normality plots with tests, and check stem and leaf, check histogram, and click continue to check the normality by Shapiro-Wilk and Kolmogorov-Smirnov tests. So these are the results. You can see the histogram here, the normal QQ plot of age in years, the extended or the detrended normal QQ plots, and the box plot. Okay, so we can find the values again of the Shapiro-Wilk test, that is below 0.05, and so this is how it is reported in SPSS version 2028. It's a little bit not straightforward. Okay, so again we go to analyze, descriptive stats, population, explore, cross tabs, turf analysis, ratio, proportion, QQ or PP or QQ plots. Bayesian statistics, also we have one sample normal, one sample binomial, we have one sample Poisson, related samples normal, independent samples normal, Pearson correlation linear, one-way ANOVA, log linear models, one-way repeated measures ANOVA. For tables, we have custom tables. We have custom tables. These direct value labels should be defined for all categorical, and their measurement level should be set correctly defined where you do not show this dialog. Okay. So we can put here tables, columns, and titles, statistics, options, etc., etc. So these are the these are tables in terms of they are similar to Excel. So then for these are things for tables. Compare means, we have means for descriptive statistics, one sample t-test, independent samples t-test, summary independent samples t-test, paired samples t-test, one-way ANOVA, one sample proportions, independent samples proportions, and paired samples proportions. So this is for parametric statistics. General linear model again for regression, univariate, multivariate, repeated measure, and variance. Generalized linear models like generalized estimating equations. So these are again advanced statistics in terms of inferential statistics. Mixed models, correlation, we have bivariate correlation with confidence intervals, bivariate partial distances, and canonical correlation. We have regression, automatic linear, We have linears. This is for simple and multiple linear regression, curve estimation, partial least squares, binary logistic regression, multinomial logistic regression, ordinal, probit, nonlinear weight estimation, two-stage least squares, quantile, optimal scaling, Catrick, etc. Log linear, we have general, logit and model selection. We have neural networks, multi-layer perception, and radial basis function. Classify, we have two-step cluster, k-means cluster, hierarchical cluster, cluster silhouettes, naive Bayes tree, discriminant nearest neighbor, rock curve, and rock analysis. We have dimension reduction for factor analysis and principal component analysis. We have correspondence analysis for Likert scale, etc. We have optimal scaling. For scale, we have reliability analysis to check the reliability of scale using Cronbach's alpha. We have weighted kappa. We have multi-dimensional and fold-in pre-FC call, and we have multi-dimensional scaling prox call, and we have multi-dimensional scaling. We have all call. Okay, non-parametric tests include one sample in case the data is not normally distributed, the independent samples t-test, related samples, or quad non-parametric ANCOVA, and legacy dialogues include other samples like chi-square. We have binomial, RANS, one sample KS, two independent samples, key independent samples, related samples. For this is for the key independent samples is related to let's say the non-parametric version of ANOVA, which is Kruskal-Wallis H test. For casting, we have create temporal causal models. We have create traditional models, apply temporal causal models, apply traditional models, seasonal decomposition, spectral analysis, sequence charts, autocorrelations, and cross correlations. For survival, we have live tables, Kaplan-Meier, Cox regression, Cox W time deep curve, and we have multiple response for multiple choice questions, missing value analysis, multiple imputation, and complex samples. You can see here that we have simulation like quality control charts or Pareto charts. We have spatial and temporal modeling. By spatial modeling, they have direct marketing and choose technique. For chi-square, we have descriptive statistics, and we go to cross tabs. So cross tabs, we move the categorical variables, and in statistics, we check the chi-square test. Okay. That's it. And we define grammars V, lambda, eta, kappa, risk, McNamara, candles tau, C, candles tau B, gamma, etc. So these are the different types of chi-square. Okay, so that's it. I think that's it concerning the analyze option. I think this is the most frequently needed option. In fact, for graphs, it is easy. We can just go over it. Chart builder, if we want to build some charts. So before you use this dialog, measurement level should be set properly for each variable in your chart. So this is very obvious. In addition, if your chart contains categorical variables, value labels should be defined for each category. Press OK to define your chart. Press define variable properties to set measurement level or define value labels for chart variables. Okay. And then we have, let's say, this chart creator. I can just choose which type of chart I want. Let's say I want scatter dot or plot, histogram, scatter plot. So I click on it, double click on it till it is selected, and I move the variable into the X and Y axis, and so that I can plot them. Okay, I can choose from here, edit elements, chart appearance, outer, inner, X axis, Y axis, add gradients, template. Okay, we can choose APA. Alright, so these are and then we have options: user missing values, exclude, include, break variables, summary statistics for case values, chart size, and panels. So once we finish plotting, we can click OK, and we will have charts. For graphs again, we have graph board template chooser. Here we can choose detailed, titles, options, etc. And we have, this is something new, we have again relationship map, and we have well-built plots, compare subgroups, regression variable plots, and legacy dialogues. It includes many types like bar, 3D bar, line, area, pie, high, low, box plot, error bar, population pyramid, scatter, and histogram. And you have utilities, variables, ohms control, scoring, merge model, calculate with pivot table, rather table, sorry, data file commands, define variable macro, merge viewer tables, define variable sets, sensor table, format correlation matrix. Can just add it, correlation, hide cell counts, hide upper triangle, hide statistic label. So this is something new, etc. And then we have regression variable plots. Okay, just for utilities. Use variable sets, create text output, process data files, run script, modify table appearances. You can click on it, table subtype, labels, both data cells and labels. Actions, significance. For significance, we can non-osses with significance markers, specified markers, both levels, upper and lower. So this is something new again. For utilities, modify output titles, production facility, and map conversion utility. And we have windows, split, minimize all windows, go to designated viewer window, go to designated syntax window, reset dialog sizes and positions. And these are the data files that are active, in fact. And help, we have SPSS support, forums, statistics community, documentation PDF format, command syntax reference, about, diagnostic tool, give feedback, and report niche. So these are, I mean, the main menus that are in SPSS. Here we can find this search button. Here we can find the customized toolbar or toolbars by adding or removing what we can see. Here we have use variable sets, all variables or new variables. Here we have select cases. If condition is satisfied, random sample of cases based on time or case range. Use filter variable, filter out unselected cases, copy selected cases to new data set, delete unselected cases, etc. So this is something again new. We have again split file, analyze all cases, do not create groups, compare groups, organize output by groups. In case we want to split file, we have find, and this button that is replaced by finding and replacing. Especially we use this in coding. Show options, contains entire cell, begins with, ends with, up and down, whatever. So I use this mainly in coding. Then we have run descriptive stats, variables, go to case, do, undo, redo, record recently used dialogues, print, save, etc. So these are the main menus that are used here. If you have questions or remarks, do not hesitate to post them below or contact me directly via one of my social media, and see you in another tutorial. Also, I would like to tell you, if in case you want to have SPSS version 28, you can contact me. Whether it is for Windows or for Mac, or it doesn't rather matter. So my opinion concerning this new version, I think it's a little bit complex, but it still provides some good shortcuts, and it's good addition. We can say that it's good addition. We hope that the other versions can include also the reports, the written text also. So this will really be a revolution in terms of statistics and statistical analysis. This is what I'm waiting for, and it's going to help researchers, beginner researchers, or intermediate or even advanced researchers in quantitative data analysis. They will be helped a lot with this new edition of report. And see you in another tutorial. Bye for now.